Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you a first game of Madden 25. You know, obviously you're going to get a lot of people that really don't know how to play the game very well, but the game dropped. So you could get good players, you could get bad players. I got my first rage quit playing online. Really, you know, everything's, you just kind of have to feel out the way the game plays when you first play the game and stuff like that. And you know, sometimes the game plays a little bit slower, a little bit faster. Defenses play a little bit different, and you have to kind of figure it out as you're going along. What your experience, like the first couple of weeks of Madden, is going to be dramatically different what it's going to be like 3 months into it. So you just have to understand everything's a learning curve. So if you do just have bad games, just kind of accept it as you get into the game. Cool thing that I actually discovered is that my offensive scheme that I previously have written up an ebook for and stuff like that, everything still works. So I can jump into the game with confidence with my offense. For the most part, you know, there's a couple things that didn't work exactly the way I wanted to, but for the most part, I'll be able to go ahead and make reads and progressions and abuse my opponent offensively just on the two offensive sets that I had against my opponent. So we're going to go and jump into this gameplay. On offense, once again, I'm playing spread using Y trips, Y off. And then on defense, I'm using the nickel defense against my opponent. So one of the things I noticed is that they got rid of the match audible. You know, I do conservative with option, and then I actually do base align. And then you've got your new return features that your opponents can actually leverage with the return. Haven't really found anything interesting with the return. Even the NFL is trying to figure out, you know, how to spring returns and stuff like that. So I just think it's, you know, I like the thought of not having to worry about defending the onside, you know, kick cheese. That's actually kind of a nice thought that I don't have to worry about that anymore. So actually get a nice little turn right there and actually get the ball up to around the 24, 25 or so. So I'm setting up my audibles. If you guys want to see this full scheme, I ran this a lot last year with great success. And it still works. Everything still works because everything I build out in my schemes is all conceptual, and it's not, you know, exposing AI or, you know, the computer or the game like a lot of the pros do. So right here, I go ahead, I think I jump into the RPO flat, and I'm just trying to do an inside zone, and I do not hit the X button correctly. It gets stuck into the quarterback taking off with it, and that could have been another situation. So that's just getting used to the mechanics of using the RPO Y flat, which you got that pass on the backside, you've got the flat route that you could throw, and then obviously holding down on X to basically hand the ball off. So I'm setting up my audibles right now. Stick, basically stick and nod. Some of these plays are not as effective as they were last year, so just you have to kind of grind it out and figure that out. So I want you to watch something right here. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. You see how his guys are off right here. He's got this guy off. He's got this guy off. He's got this guy off. He's got off. So I'm thinking this is cover 4. So really what I'm looking for is I'm looking for this outside out route, because that's going to get under the coverage, because this guy's got to play, you know, he's got a deep responsibility if he's playing man coverage or cover 4. So I can usually hit this route right here. But let's see if I can catch the animation or catch him change. You can see now he changes his alignment. So this guy's down. He's showing inside. This guy's shaded inside. This guy's shaded to the outside, and basically he's got these two guys that should probably come back into flat. So I'm reading cover 2, and my goal is to try to hit this guy right over the middle of the field with verticals. This is a play that I've used extensive in the past. So I jump into the verticals, and I just go ahead and just quick snap the ball. And as you can see, he's playing this guy. This guy's kind of carrying. He's kind of carrying. But he's got deep responsibility. This guy's actually challenging it, but I think what happens is he pulls himself out of position, and I'm able to go and lob the ball right up the middle of the field against basically you know, a hole in the middle of the coverages. So I read cover 2. It didn't look exactly like cover 2 after the snap, but it just could be just the way the game plays. It plays a little bit differently. So we're going to keep labbing that stuff, but that's one of the things that when you have particular pass patterns that beat certain types of coverages and stuff like that. And you can go from your previous yearbook and jump into a new playbook with the same plays and same identifications. You can actually be very successful with this game. So I'm able to go ahead and just get a one-play touchdown against this guy. Now, I run a lot of nickel defenses, and basically I like to do the show 9, come on a cover 6. I'm experimenting with the cover 3 sky, but I'm also going to use palms, and palms actually is going to be one of the better defenses that I'm going to jump into. Now, the defense I like to run initially is cover 6. The match features don't work exactly the way that I expected them to, so we're going to go ahead and lab that up and try to get that figured out a little bit. I also noticed that this guy was not supposed to be basically my linebacker spot, so I have to kind of figure out what was going on with my setups there with those guys. So slide these guys over right here. I want to go ahead and make sure I have guys slid over to stop any kind of a run. And I've also put this guy down in a flat route. This is just standard stuff I've done in previous Maddens, just to try to stop my opponent. And my responsibility is to kind of fill the gaps based on where the reaching is at. So because these guys should reach, I should be able to get around and get into the backfield for my run responsibility. So he snaps the ball, does an inside run. He goes wide outside, so I'm going to wide outside, and you can see right here, he gets a pretty good run right there because he went wide, but I was in a position to go ahead and take away a kind of a cutback right there. I don't get any kind of off the ball block shed, but he picks up, I think, a good 7 yards on that run, so that's actually worked out pretty well for him. So right here, he's got trips on this side, so he's got his trips receivers on this side. Once again, I usually jump into palms, and then what I'm going to do is going to go ahead and take my guy, put him on a flat out here to just take away any kind of crossing around underneath. I think also what I was considering doing is I was trying to man this guy up. Once again, when you're playing the game, things don't work as fast when you play a new version of the game. So we're going to go ahead and set this up. And I didn't get a chance to mix up my lines. I'm playing over the top, so I'm looking for any kind of route that is crossing over, because that's going to be my deep responsibility, because this guy's going to meg up over here. So really what I'm going to do is I'm looking underneath, and he's got an angle route right here. He's got this route, and what he had was like kind of a sail concept with basically like a deep sail. This play basically blew this dude away. It was a really good play, so we're going to have to work on some type of a defense to tighten that up, because Sale just destroyed palms. It was not a good situation. So you could see this halfback angle. It's got a sail concept, and he's got that angle out route, which he looked for the deep route from there. So right here, I'm actually searching for match. Like, hey, my guys that match right there. So I just like, okay, whatever. Just just first game. Just gonna have to take your lumps. So back at the cover 6 is my base defense. I might run cover 4 palms or quarters as my base defense. We'll see as we play around with it. So right here, going ahead and matching things up once again. So basically, this is going to be cover 4 palms. I'm going to go ahead and put a flat route out here. I'm going to go ahead and motion my line over to take away any kind of run route. And I'm just going to sit here and look for the 3. So my responsibility is to look for the 3 on this. So right here, ball snapped. All right, so this guy goes out. I've got this covered up. If he goes up, out, whatever, these two guys have got it. My responsibility is to get underneath and play the 3. And you can see this guy matches the running back underneath, and I've got this guy locked up over here. So I'm actually just matching up on number 3. I'm just going to sit there. And he actually just goes ahead and challenges the corner route on the backside, and I get myself an interception on the backside. So because I've got basically bracketed coverage right there, he just didn't read this correctly, and I'm able to go ahead and get an interception first. Off that Palms defense. I'm starting to think Palms is going to be a very difficult defense for people to read. So it might be the base defense I might run a little bit, because it's going to have run fits. So you can see right here, he just got really, really picked off on that. So here's a play that actually is pretty good so far. Is a duo play, and basically duo is going to, you're going to get yourself, double teams, and these guys are going to peel off with duo. So I just jump into this particular play just to keep things interesting. You can see the push is really good. Where he is going with his user is beyond me. Maybe he's concerned about getting hit with a blocker, but you can see right there I'm able to go and pick up a good 20 yards on a simple duo play. So right now I'm just kind of taking a look at my audibles, making sure I've got everything set up with my audibles, and haven't had the need to actually go too deep. I'm just going to stay in this wide trips offset formation. At duo once again, and there should be a double team on these two guys right here, single team, and these guys should peel off to take the inside guys. So this is a really good defense to use against a 6-man front. Right here, this guy actually does it. Gets a cut. It's real jumbled up, but you could see really this is if I cut this back and get through here, this is where my bigger yardage is at, or I'm gonna have to make a move on this guy. So I go for the big hole and don't have a right angle on that. And actually get stuck for like a couple yards or so on that, but you could see the push was pretty good with the offensive line. So back a duo again, and he pulls this one defender in, and I think what I did is I go ahead and jump it in the RPO. What's going to happen is this guy's going to block, this guy's going to block. He might reach block, and I've got a block like this, but what's going to happen is these guys are all going to freeze on this route. Now, I always peek over to this guy, and if this guy bites in, I'm going to throw this bubble right here. This is going to be the area I'm going to go with it. But if he kind of like goes out, I'm just going to run with the ball and just try to get outside off the left. So you can see right here, you can see how this guy actually comes out. All right, so now I'm just going to go ahead and just go with the run animation. I don't really have any other choices. And I try not to throw that tight end route. And you can see right here, he just gets himself out of position. He doesn't know where he's going with it. So his user was really not that good on defense, and as a result, I'm able to go ahead and get another touchdown against my opponent. So worked out pretty well for me right there. But you can see, this offense that I've used previously in Madden still works conceptually. Everything still works. You just have to find, certain changes with the plays because you don't have all the same audibles. So back at it again. He's got a trip set over here. So he's got his bunch over here, tight end. I'm thinking cover 4 palms. And what I like to do is I like to drop a guy out right here into a flat just to get myself another defender, and they're just kind of mixing things up a little bit. So I jump into cover 4 palms, make my quick adjustment, slide this guy over because he does, if he's matching properly, he should have a match responsibility. And I'm going to go ahead and use her over the middle of the field. I'm really waiting for someone to come back to me, and I'm going to use her that guy. And this tight end has basically got, he's got 3 defenders that are going to defend any kind of deep or out route against the tight end. So you can see I'm just kind of waiting. I'm waiting. And I'm trying to pick this guy up. See how this levels, this guy's right here. This is my responsibility. He throws over the top of it, and look at the defender right here. He's in position on the bracket coverage, and Ward actually goes ahead and just picks it off right there and gets me a huge play right there. So another interception with the Palms defense. I just think people are going to struggle against Palms until they figure it out. He ends up doing a rage quit request against me. No, dude, we're playing, man. It's the first game. So he ends up conceding the victory side. I'm going to concede against my opponent. So here's the thing, guys. I have basically this offense that's already set up. It's all about leverage. It's all about exposing your opponent's weaknesses and stuff like that. So you can go on right now and use this ebook to identify things. Now I'm going to obviously go and have update it based on the Madden 25, just because it has slightly different looks and there might be some plays that might be more effective against different coverages. But for the most part, what I've already seen is a lot of this stuff is still the same. Nothing's really changed. So you can leverage this stuff, right now if you wanted to. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this up. It takes a lot of time, but this is just it's a really good ebook. I love this format, this spread playbook. So once again, thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.